Hello, everyone. Gilbert here. Welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. I was just sitting here at my bench this morning, afternoon. What time is it? Yeah, it's 12:30, 12:36 Central Standard Time. And I came down here a little early because, this figure here that I'm playing around with these pastels, it's been eating away at me, man. I'm like that when I start playing around with something. It irks me until I get it right. All right. Now, hey, Dominic, what's going on, Gooch? Now, I have been aware of these for quite some time. I've seen other people using them, but I was kind of, other artists using them, but I was kind of leery of them, these Pan Pastels. I've seen a couple of videos or known of people that have used them. And my past experience with pastels, like on armor kits and stuff, is limited. I'm more of an oil and acrylic guy. But I have used pastels. I've got a whole bunch of them behind me. But never these Pan Pastels. So Jerry Freid over at Just Painted, which let me give him a shout out. You guys, here, let me present. Sorry, I should have had it set up and ready. Jerry over at Just Painted. Bam, this brother right here, Just Painted. You go check him out. He's the one that convinced me, just by seeing some of his work and talking to him, one-on-one, in the hangouts and stuff, of how these paints, these how they work, He convinced me to try them. So I ended up picking up some. So before I go any further, check out Jerry Freid. There's his YouTube page, Jerry Freid, Just Painted. Does some amazing work. He's got some giveaways too. So if you guys are not subscribed to him, subscribe to the brother. So, all right. Let me get back to this. Josh, what's going on? It's 10:30, man. Well, it's 10:30 where you're at. It's 12:30 here, brother. Okay. No, I did not get these from Hobby Lobby, Dominic. My local store has some. They don't have like this one here. This the magenta shade they didn't have. There's a couple of colors they don't have. They've got more of the railroady-ish stuff. So this one, this one, and I believe it was this one. These I bought on Amazon. I've got a couple other ones coming. They've got the titanium white, and I'll talk about that in a second. They've got that over at my local shop. But there were certain colors they didn't have there. I asked him if he can get them, and I didn't. Anyway, make a long story short, they didn't have them. So I started playing around with them. I've never used them before. This is as far as figure painting is concerned. I've used them on armor kits and stuff like that there, but never on a figure. I'm more anybody that's ever watched me paint. Excuse me, I'm trying to fix my camera here. Anyone that has watched me paint, you know that I primarily. Come on, my camera's all out of whack here. Sorry. Primarily, I use acrylics and I use oils. Now, the oils, what I do when I use them, I'll lay down a basic skin tone. This is Pro Acryl's Tan Flesh, and there's another one. I can't think of it. It's behind me. I'm not going to go get it. So what I usually do when I do figures, and everybody's different. So what I do is especially on a 3D print, this black usually is SEM High Build Automotive Primer. I didn't do it with this one. There's a lot of defects on her. I didn't bother to sand her all down, and I'm wishing I did because I'm liking the way it comes out. I just wanted to use this as a test bed. I'm gonna finish her off as I would any other one. There's gonna be some flaws on the actual 3D print that I didn't clean up. That's okay. I wasn't planning on showing this. I was planning on just doing some experimenting on her and see how it worked. But I'm liking the way it's coming out. These Pan Pastels. Now, again, let me backtrack. I prime her. Right now, this is Stynylrez. Seal that with a matte coat. And then I go in with whatever skin tones I'm using. And for my instances, I use Pro Acryl. There's tan flesh and there's, I believe, like a rosy flesh. I can't think of the name of it at the moment. And then I go in, I make sure I leave some highlight, some darkness in there in certain places, some shade, so I know where the shade, where I want the light to hit, whatever. Then I seal that. And then I started with the pastels. The first thing I used was this one. This is a red iron oxide. It's a darker oxide. Put in my shadows and then sealed it where I wanted it dark. Like in here, back in there, I put a little bit of this in. You only need a tiny bit of this. I'll show you guys in a second what I'm doing. Then I went in with some of this on the rest of it, to feather it out and then blend it into the dark. This is the red iron oxide extra dark. Sealed it. A tip from Jerry Fade over at, again, Just Paint It. We use the bare chalk. And the reason that chalk is you lay it down, it's a matte coat, but it's really not matte. It's glossy. So you're going to have to knock that down. But it holds those pigments in so they don't blow away. A lot of times you put a pigment down, they're gone. But I'm noticing, though, I didn't use the bare the last two times. I just used my regular matte coat, which is the crystal clear. Not the crystal clear, the matte, UV matte. And it didn't blow it away because I was standing back a little further away and I just dusted it. So maybe I don't need the chalk. I don't know. We'll see. So in between each coat of these that I've used, I seal it. Now, there's a lot of color in here, man. I mean, I just didn't use the iron oxide, the red iron oxide, the extra dark red iron oxide, which I think these tops are I got them mixed. So this one, I was like, wait a minute, that don't look dark. Yeah, well, when I was using them, I mixed the tops. Oop, let me close it. Let me get that closed up. So that's the dark, extra dark. And this is just the red. Yeah, I mean, you'll see it on the bottom. Also, come on, that's not darker than that. So I had the tops mixed. But went in with this first. Then I went in with this on the shadows. Anywhere I wanted a shadow. Like on the face, the neck, under the neck, anywhere there was a shadow. Then I used some of this. This is the extra dark magenta. I used some of this, and I started adding. Dude, you just and I'll show you in a second how much I use of this. You don't need a lot, just a very little. Add a little color to it. Seal, smooth it out with a brush. Blend it. Seal it. Did that all the way around. Then I went in with some of this. This is a Payne's Gray. Just a scotch of it, man, in the high parts. Like right up in there. I still need to put a little bit more under her eyelid there. Just a little here. And underneath her neck. The dark areas. Blended it, shot it with a matte coat. Put a little bit of this in it. Just a very little. Very, very little. Like here, right up in there. Right in the belly, some of the darker spots. Sealed it. Used this one. This is a raw umber tint. Just to give me, to lighten up certain spots. I need to get a titanium white. I don't have that one yet. So, but right now what I'm doing is I'm adding this one. This is a magenta shade. And let me show you how much of this you need. You don't need a lot, guys. Very, very little. This is a synthetic Winsor & Newton. It's from their University series, 23288, or I can't see the number back there. But it's a 000. This is just a cheap Hobby Lobby brush. A couple of old brushes that I have here that I'm using to blend. I also have, let me set these. These are the three that I'm using. These. Some cheap makeup sponges. So if I lay down too much of it, I go in and I take some off. So what I'm doing is with this magenta tint, I'm going in. I don't know if you can see it, like right in here. I'll come down a little lower. You see what I'm doing? I'm adding a little bit of tint to her skin. So where am I at? I've got it here already, right in there. I'll blend that before I seal it. A little bit on her cheek. I need to go in and do a little bit more blending. I wanted her to have more of a tanned look to her. And so far, that's looking good. Shadows coming from up this way, down. So she's lighter here, darker in the crevices. Neck, darker. I've got it in the neck area there. You see that? So just a little bit. See that? Very little. Let me get right here. You don't need a lot of this, guys. Just a little. I don't know if you can see that. Then I'll take the little blender and I'll blend it in and across. There it is. That's it. I want to leave that highlight there. Now, if you think there's too much, you take this and just take a little bit off. See? Take your blender again and just go in and blend it. It's going on dry. Now, I seal in between each one of them. I'm sure there are people that can do it, without sealing between coats. I'm not that proficient with them yet. I'm just trying to learn how to use them right now. So I don't want that magenta everywhere. I just want it in certain spots, to give her a little bit of a skin tone. So I'll come here, like right by her breast, and just add a little bit there, and just feather it. Take my blender and blend it up. Just like that. There's a little bit too much there, so I'm going to come right in here and just do this. Leave that highlight. Come back with the blender and then down. Just like that. I'll go in here and I'll add a little bit more of a magenta. I'll do that right now. The iron oxide. So I want a darker color. So I'm going to move this over here. Put that top over there. I'll take this one. I got a little paper towel here. I'm not going to wet this. When I'm done, I'll clean the brushes, but these brushes will be used for this and this alone. So I'll take a little bit of this. Now you can see right here where I'm just tapping it. I'll just tap a little bit to get it on the brush. And then I'm going to come right in here and just add that shadow again. Right in there. Come up. See, got that shadow right in there. And her cleavage there. This is an angled brush. I don't want to come up. I'm going to go that way. And then I'll come up. So now I got that shadow there. See that? I don't want it too dark. I'm trying to keep it as homogeneous, if that's the word. It went up a little too high here, so let me remove a little bit of that. Now again, it hasn't been sealed yet, so I'm able to remove some and then blend it down. Once I seal it, that's it. So there's the right in there. I want to get inside of her navel. You see, I put a little bit on the tip, and then I tap the brush right in there in that navel there, just like that, so I can darken that up. Get the blender again and just blend that down. So I got her navel. I'll use this like here to add more shadow. Because her tone, her belly, it's subtle, but I want to give it just a little bit more. And you see what I'm doing? I'm just very lightly putting that in there. I'm barely touching it, but I'm adding a little bit of a dimple right here where her six-pack would go, her obliques. So see, just want like a dimple there. That's a little darker. And then I'll just blend that down. Just like that. And I'll end up doing that all over the place. But for right now, let me close this. Because my clumsy ass, I'll end up knocking it over or something. I know I will. Drop something in it. Hey, Chopper. Interesting. Being dry, it doesn't bleed over to areas not wanted like traditional acrylic wet paints. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Now, I want to... I had been hesitant on using them. I'm not saying that I saw people do amazing work with them, but I didn't want to have to learn another thing because I was comfortable using my oils. Excuse me. I was comfortable using the oils. But every now and then you see things. I was watching some video. I had watched videos of people doing it. Then I watched Jerry Fade over at Just Painted doing it. And I thought, I like that effect. I really do. And it's quick. I don't have to wait. The way I use the oils is the way I learned from oh God, I'm having a brain fart. James Wapple. You don't have to, if you lay your oils thick, and I used to do oil painting when I was a teenager. So you learn not to lay oils down too thick if you want them to dry. If you're doing them on the canvas, it's going to take a while to dry. Once you dry, you varnish it and do all that stuff. But on a figure or on a model, you don't want them that heavy. That's why you use a thinner. You water it down, or you thin it down. You lay it down. I use from James a sponge, a makeup sponge to tap it. I'm using it more as a tint than I am as a color, and then you blend that. So typically, when I use an oil, it usually in a day or two, my oils are dry. I can use these on top of my oils after they're dry and I seal everything. Or without using the oils, I can have this dry within minutes. Because once I lay it down and I get the color I want, I shoot it with a clear coat, boom, seal it in. It's done. Hit it with a blow dryer, it's done. So I'm really enjoying these. I really am. So it's just a little bit on the tip of the brush there. I want to give her a little bit of a glow here, right around her rib cage. And then I'll bring it down. I'll take my blender and I'll blend that in. See, I'm trying to, right here, where her rib and her belly meet, you could see an indentation in there. It's a soft line in there, but it's not a hard, like say here on her neck. So you have to create an illusion that there's a shadow there. So, I mean, it's there. You just have to use your paints or your pigments or whatever you're using to create that. Now, go back to this. I want a small shadow in there before I put the dark one down. I'm just going to sit that on top so I don't ruin anything. And I'll take this one. This is the red iron oxide. The dark red iron oxide is this one. So I'm going to pull a little bit of this down. and just make a shadow right here. I don't need a lot of it. I just need a very little. It's like you're using oils, but instead of oils or acrylics, you're using a pastel. And again, if it's too dark, this. I'm just very lightly going over it to pull some of it off. And I use this to blend with. So there's that little shadow there. I'll come in. Now I got that little shadow right there. Grab a little bit of this, just a very little. I don't need a lot. You notice I do that because I take whatever is on there off of there and just leave a little bit. And then I'll just right here. So I want that rib to start showing. See that? And then right here where this muscle, this oblique muscle, I'm trying to get that to show, like right here. There's a, and then bring this down like that. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a shadow there. Now it looks too dark on here. Believe me, once I hit this with a clear coat, that's going to knock all that down. So now that I got that on there, I'm going to take my little blender and just carefully take it off of here because I want that highlight. And there's the highlight. There's what I'm looking for. The lights are bringing it up a little darker than it actually is. But I'll take this. You see how it's coming off on there? But it's still leaving what I want on there. So I'm very gently, I'm using this to blend with. Just to bring it all down. All right. Go back to this guy. Make sure I wipe this brush to get the dark off of there. Like that. Just a little bit of this magenta shade. And I'm going to put that magenta shade right here. Right on that highlight there. And I'll bring that down. Yeah, he does do some good work, Josh. So now I've got that in there. I'll come over. I'll get a different brush for this one. I'll come over here. Again, this is the where is it? The raw umber tint. Yeah. Oh, where's my brush for that? I'll take, what did I do with it? Here it is. Take my little brush and just grab a little bit of that right there. And just right here, I'll come down like that. Bring that in there. Bring this around. Just like so. Blend that in. And there's my highlight. Like that. Take this guy again and just blend it a scotch. There's my highlight. Take my finger. There we go. I don't want a lot of that on there because that can overpower everything. I just want a little bit. Like here. Bring that down here. Gary, how you doing? Take a little bit. Just put that right in there. She needs a shadow there. So I'm going to use this. I don't want it too dark in there. Right here. There's that shadow that I'm looking for. I'll remove that came up there. I'll remove it from here. There's that shadow I was looking for. Make a little bit of this. Add that right in there. Just to dress that up a little bit. Bring that down. And on the breast there. Give it a little color on that. Not a lot, just a little bit. I'm gonna grab some of this dark. Run that up. That'll give me that shadow that I'm looking for. More of the dark back in here. See, I got a little bit there. That's the cool thing about that pigment. A little bit popped off the brush and got on there. I'll take that right in here. Take that blender. Just like that. Take whatever's left on that brush there. And right in that crooked, well, I need a little bit more. Right in that crook of that arm there. Right in there. Just give a little shadow there. Well, there she is so far. I have to, Carrie's got to be up at 2:45 for work, apart from the shock that I am okay. Wow, man. So, yeah. I'm really liking them. I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing with them. I know I just made a video and I just posted. That was more of a TikTok video, but I thought I'd post it for you guys to see. There'll be more blending, you know, but not much. But there she is right there. Chopper says they even come in metallic 6. There goes some more money. Yeah. Hey, Adam, how you doing? Yeah, man, I'm telling you. You know what, though, Chop? I think these are great, man. You're going to like these. You really are going to like these. These, once you get them, one of these is going to last me forever. It really is, because you're not going to use a lot of it. You see how much I'm using. I'm barely tapping the brush in there, so you don't need a lot of it. There's a titanium white that I need to pick up, because this is nice, but it's not the color I'm looking for. But it helps. I mean, you could use this as a shader. Let me close this up, because this will be one of the final ones. This one is the titanium white that I use. I just got to make sure I got these tops closed on just right, because there you go. You hear it click and then you turn them. So, yeah. So as you see what I'm doing, I'll go with this one, the dark magenta. And I'm just adding like shadows where I want the shadows at, like that. I'll take the brush and just very gently blend them. So that gives you that. That gives me that shadow there. You can take your finger and just run it over. Takes off most of it. See that? Takes it off. But I got that nice shadow in there. I'll work on those later. Just wanted to show you guys what I was doing with these. Like the pink on the knee and all that stuff will be in there. So, or the magenta. I'm just establishing shadows right now on the rest of her body. I think for the most part I might be done with the top there. See here, you could see there's a crease right here. So I'm just going to put just a little bit like right here where that crease is. And then there's like right there. And then it looks like there's like right here. It's kind of hard to see it. So I use that to take off most of it, and I just leave that little shadow right there. Yeah, that's the great part about it. Yeah, it's the girl from the Planet of the Apes, Adam. This is a print by NY3D Creations. I've had it for some time. This was he sent this to me a while back, and it's been sitting in my in my paint room. So you see what I'm doing with this? I'm using this because there's not really a hard line there. I just want to get that shadow there. See that? Right there. Then I'll come in like right here, add a little shadow there, and a little bit down here. I'll blend that in a second. I'll come over here by her ankle. I'll add it there. Right there. I don't want to overpower it. And then, let's see. Let's go in between her toes here. Like so. And then we'll come over here. And from the bottom of her sole, I'll bring it up. So you got that illusion of that shadow underneath that foot. And I'll bring that up. Okay. So I'll take my blender again, come underneath here, pull that up, blend that down. See, there's a shadow now in there. And that's what I wanted. Come here. I'll refine all this later. I'm just before I seal it. That's why I got a glove on, so the sweat, the heat from my hand doesn't. No, they're not, Thomas. They're dry. They're dry. They're real fine, real fine. Really nice stuff. There's a I think in Figure Painter magazine. I think it's in Figure Painter. I don't remember. The guy showed it to me the other day. There's a Russian chick, that lady that does this, and man, the results she gets are phenomenal. So you see here, the back of her knee there. That's a hard one. A hard, not hard to paint, but it's a hard indentation there. So I want to come in and give that a little shadow. Same thing with the inside part right here. Take my brush, blend it. Just like so. Take my makeup brush again and just lightly go over it. Take it out from where I don't want it. Okay. So there's the shadow there. I'm going to end up going up underneath here with it. And I'll put a little bit more here. But I want to show you how cool these are. I'll take a little bit of this. This is the magenta shade, and right on that ankle. It's going to lighten that up so you could, it looks like the skin is being stretched right there, like right here. Take a little bit more here. Turn her upside down on her Achilles tendon and on the ball of her foot, like right there. Now, some of you might be saying, Gilbert, why did you base her if you knew you were going to paint her? Well, she came to me this way. And if you guys know anything about 3D printing, to try to take her off it, I'd end up breaking her. So, again, this is and I'm trying to get a feel of these. So now there's the back of her foot. You can see that now. Now there's, I don't know if you see it. Now there's that pink right there. Yes, Thomas. Here, let me show you. Let me show you. The way I was told how to do it, there's a spray called Bear Chalk. I'll show you. You have this, and this is nice stuff because it's made for chalks. So you take this, shake the snot out of it, put a light coat on it. Although this says matte clear, it's not matte. So be careful with this stuff. So you can lay this down over each individual color. And then to knock that down, I use this. Or if you want it even deader matte, you can use your tester's dull coat. But I don't use dull coat out of a can. I've been burned by it too many times, so I mix up my own. I got bottles of it, and I do a 50-50 mix, or sometimes I do a 60-70, 30-70-40 mix. Add a little bit more lacquer in it and knock it down even more. But yeah, her kneecap, we'll take that pink. Or that magenta. I keep calling it pink, but it's a magenta. Now, why am I not using the pink? Because it's too light. I think so. So I'll do this, and then I'll run it up. Now you see that's too dark. Use this because I haven't knocked that down yet. Now I'm bringing it up. There it is. There's her kneecap. I know the lights are killing it, making it brighter than it should be, but there's her kneecap. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. I'll add a little bit like coming up this way, up her thigh. Just a little bit. Like there. I'll take this brush here instead of the paintbrush and just swirl it around. Just like that. And that gives me the little bit that I'm looking for there. Take a little bit more here. Right on that shin bone. Just like that. Bring that down to her foot. And for the foot, because now let me see what this looks like on there. Now see, I dropped this. That's why it looks like this, guys. That was my bad. I dropped it. I need to press that down. Find something to use to press that down. So I'll take a little bit of this and just like here. Gives you a little highlight I'm looking for right there. A little bit of it right there. Bring that down a little bit. Blend it in. Yeah. I'm going to give me a second, guys. I got to find something to be able. You can't. Can I use the top of this? No. I need to find something like a cap or something to be able. Let me see. To be able to press that down here. This might work. So what I'm trying to do is press it down so I don't got those big clumps. That's what happens when you drop it. So there you go. That'll work. See? So let me go back. So that gave me a nice little highlight there. And there's a little bit too much in that little, right in there. Let me take that out of there. Right here. There we go. So that gave me a nice little highlight there. See that? And I'll take that same color. I'll take that same color. And right here on that tendon and on her arch of her foot and on her toes. Just like that. Take my blender. Yes, Thomas. I clear coated the. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. And no, you're not being a pain, brother. She was primed in Badger Steinless Black. Shot a little bit of my terracotta over it to give me where my shadows and everything are at. I came down. I used that terracotta as more of a zenithal kind of thing. Sealed it. Went in with MRP tan flesh. Sealed it. There's another one I use. Give me a second. I used the tan flesh, and I also used pale pink. Tan flesh and pale pink. Now the pale pink, once I laid down the dark shadows that I have on here, I sealed it with the pastels. The acrylics were all sealed. I laid down my first coat. This one, everything you see here. Once I started laying each individual one, when I was satisfied with it, I'd hit it with a coat of this. Let that hit it with a blow dryer, and I misted it with this. So I'm sealing in between each one of them. And it seems like a lot of work, but believe me, it's not. It's not. Once you get used to doing it, you'll know what to do. So there, I've got her color tone on that knee, down on that foot. I'll do more work on it. I mean, she's not by any means is she done. I'll put a little bit of that right here just to highlight that. See that? It brought that highlight out real nice. Boom, right there. Take my little blender, blend that in. There, she's done. It's done. I don't need to put more on there. More, too much, you'll ruin the effect. Come back here. Right here. Right on that tendon, on that ball of that foot. I'll bring that up. Just like that. Bring it up. Take this. Blend it. I'm bringing it up because I want it to come up a little bit. So there, you got that nice glow on that foot there. I'll do that. That's what I need. I needed a flat one. I'll pull a little bit here, take off the excess. And right here on this muscle, or hammy there, I'll pull that up. Right there. Take the blender. Blend that up. There's that high point. I'll do the same on her calf. And before I seal this, I'll go back and look at it, move it around. It'll give me an idea. So here, we'll do this right here on the calf muscle. Blend it going up. Just the high points. That's all I'm after. Just to give it a little bit of pop there. There's that calf muscle. What did I do with it? Here it is. Take my blender. Just blend it. There's the back of her calf. Now you could do the same with this one. Take a little bit of that right there. Right on that cheekbone. Right here. Take a little bit more. That nose. Come over here. On this side, get that cheekbone. Where's my blender? Take my blender. Chopper says, check out their colorless blender medium. Allows you to make a very transparent color blends like a clear glazing medium. I should try it out. I'll check it out. Thanks, Chop. Thomas Cochran, I've just made the mistake of touching up the paint and putting pastels on the face. Then clear pastels react totally different directly on flat paint. Yeah, well, this is flat. Once, I seal everything, so now see what I'm doing? I'm softening those hard lines with that. Take it over here. I'll soften those hard lines a little bit, bring it down. I want that shadow here, but I want to soften this up a little bit. Her nose, same thing. I'll bring this down just a scotch. Take a little bit of this again. Right on her chin here. Blend that out. Like so. I hope this is, look, guys, this is the first time I've ever used this stuff. So I'm no pro with it. But I got to say, I'm really liking the effects I'm getting with them. So I got to bring that just a little bit here. And again, I'm going to be tweaking it, playing with it. I mean, there's going to be, this might not be the final, what she looks like. But we'll see. I just thought maybe you guys would like to see this, So I'll take again, some of this. I already got some of that in here, but I want to highlight like right here. And I'll bring that up just a little bit, like right there. Take a little bit more of that right there. Again, I'm not pulling it out, just very little. You see how little I have on there. You see that right here on her neck, on her throat. I want a little bit of that right here. Just a little, like right there. I'll take a little bit more. And I want to highlight this right here. Like right there. Highlight this, her Adam's apple. Right there by her trach. I'll do that. I'll blend that down. Her collarbone. It's kind of hard. I'm trying to get this in the so you guys can see. I'm going to highlight her collarbone here. Just like so. Take the blender, blend that in. There's the collarbone. I don't want it too, to look too rough. I just want it highlighted just a little bit like that. So. Yeah, you know what, Dominic? Excuse me, let me sneeze. This stuff, yeah, you can go steal it right out a window. Look, I've got the basic skin tone on there. Everything you're seeing that I'm doing so far has been with the pigments, other than the basic skin tone. Other than the basic skin tone, everything else has been these pigments. I want a little bit of a highlight here to come up, just like so. Take that and blend it. So I'm moving her back and forth, trying to get the right angle for the light. Like right there. See, what I'm doing is I'm building. This is smooth right here. There's a little indent. It's not an indentation. It's just the way it goes in. So I made a shadow there. And then I'm trying to build like this part right here. There was a little indentation there. That might be a little too dark. That's where her hip is at. But I wanted to get a little shadow there. But right here, there isn't nothing. So what you're seeing me doing is I'm using these shadows to create the illusion that that muscle, there's a separation between this right here, her hip, and that oblique muscle. So there's that, see? And then I'll just take this brush and just go over the whole thing, blend it. Again, nothing's been sealed just yet. I'll do the same here. I'll put a shadow there or a highlight there. I'll take this right here, drop a little highlight in here, one in there, and maybe one right here. Take the brush. Just run it like that. And there's her belly. Let me bring it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm really liking this stuff. So I just wanted to show you guys. I mean, I got a video up where I'm doing it. You can see me doing it. I did that for the TikTok. I just wanted to do this here to show, people on the YouTube and on the, I'll add a little bit more of that pink right here. I'll blend that down a little bit, bring it across. Again, I want that shadow on this side, so I don't want to blow that up. Now, give me a second here, guys. I got allergies, something fierce. Before I go, I want to let me close this up. Because again, I don't want to get this all over the place. You got to be careful with it. It is a pigment, very, very fine pigment. You see that? It's on my hands already. It's a very, very fine pigment. God darn it, these caps. You got to get it just right so it'll turn. There we go. Yeah, I should have sent this back because no, this one came from Amazon. That's right. It's the one that was broken. So, fucking mail people. There we go. All right. Let me close this one up. This is the extra dark. Hey, Chop, no problem, man. You know, whatever I can do to help, I'm more than willing to show you guys what I'm doing. My screw ups, my when I do something that comes out nice, when I do something that comes out wrong, I just, I want to show you guys the process of it. I want to get her eyes real quick. And for that, I'm going to use Payne's Grape. Excuse me. Should I use the Payne's Grape or the Romber? You know what? Let me see what this looks like. I can always wipe it off. Got my towel here. Make sure I get most of that off the brush. I'll take a little bit of this. As you can notice, look, guys, I don't have a lot of it. Look, I'm not pulling a lot of it. See that? I'm just running very gently the brush. See that? That's all I got. And then I'll come over here. Now, this is going to be a little bit difficult. Let me see if I can film it for you. I want to get like right in here. And all I'm doing is I'm giving her a little bit of a makeup-y shadow on there, but not a lot. I don't want her to look like she's out for the night with the homies. Take that off at the end there. I don't want her looking like she's out there thirst trapping. So see, just gave her a little shadow there. Just a little one. Nothing extreme. See? Yeah, this blue is Payne. This is actually Payne's Gray, Adam. This one's Payne's Gray. This one here is Phthalo Blue. You see the difference? Payne's Gray, Phthalo Blue. I use a lot of Payne's Gray whenever I'm doing stuff like that. But I want to show you. Again, I don't want to touch this with my hands too much. I need to seal it. But there she is so far. And again, this is a test piece. I wanted to show you guys, how I'm experimenting with them. And you know what? I got to be honest with you. I'm really digging them. I need to pick up, like I said, a titanium white just to give it, like here, you give it a little glow there, a little glow like right in here. Just a hint of it, in certain spots where the light's hitting it. But there she is. So, guys, I know. Let me find this real quick. I'm gonna do my housekeeping in a moment. So give me a second here. Give me a minute here. I'm just checking something real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. I was trying to answer a question. Okay. So if this was any good for you guys, if you guys got any benefit, let me move this way so you can see her. There she is right there. Get the light on her. Like that. See that? And then I worked a little bit on that leg right there. It needs to be a little bit more work done to it. By no means am I done. I still got to go over everything, hit it with a clear. This has got to be muted down a little bit. It's a little bit too dark right in there. So I'll just do this, get rid of some of that, and there it is. Knocked it down. But I'll go in there and I'll lighten that up just a scotch. And then you get the inside under her crotch area, down her legs. I got to get there, the knees, finish the knees, the thigh, the shin, the feet, the hands. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's an experiment playing around with these. I like them. If you guys like them, try them. You know, get maybe one or two of them. If anything, get the red iron oxide. You get yourself the magenta dark, the light, the magenta shade, some titanium white. Maybe a burnt sienna, 3 or 4 of them to start with. No, it's not tacky at all, Chopper. Not tacky at all. See, it's a pigment. Once you get it on there, I seal in between each coat. So right now I can literally take most of it off with my thumb. There'll still be some tinting to it, but not a lot. I use my finger a lot to do that, just so I can blend with my hand. But these things here come in handy. You know, they're soft. You don't have the oils from your hands on it. So but no, they're not tacky at all. Very dry, very, very fine. Now I got to ask by Michael Wheaton, brother Michael Wheaton, can he use regular pastels? Yeah, I guess you can. If you got a mortar and pedestal to crush them up to make them as fine, a grinder, something because these things are just fine. They're very, very fine. And they go on really nice, man. And a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to post this here. I know if you guys are watching, I have if any of this was good for you, was instructive, if you guys learned anything from it, there's my buy me a coffee. You know, if you can't do that, I understand. Just hit the like button, subscribe, pass this on. If you got any questions on this, get a hold of me, man. I'll be more than happy to explain all this stuff. On December 3rd, we're going to be doing her with the boys on the Way of the Dragon. I'm going to be using the pastels on her. And we got another one coming. I don't want to jump the gun on this, but right after that, we're going to be doing another one, which will be a male figure. And I'm going to open the door and let Jerry Fried, Just Painted, host it, because I want you to see what he does with these. So he's going to show you his technique on how to do it. So we're going to follow him. So you guys have a great Sunday. Thank you for watching, man. Again, like I said, if any of this was any good, there's my PayPal me, whatever you can, that's fine. If you can't, that's fine also. Just hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great Sunday. This is Gilbert saying peace. Thank you for watching, guys.